Hi, and welcome to another episode of Honest AF Show with me, Daniela Clarke.
And me, Barbara Ann Wild.
And our very special guest, the one I gave birth to, my daughter, Frankie Clarke. Hi, Frankie.
Hello.
It's so funny because Frankie has a new record that came out that we just talked about in the last episode that was been very exciting in our house because Frankie, you've been doing Frankie and the Studs for a few years now. You've been out on the scene playing live, going on tour, and you finally put out a full-length album.
Finally. Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
So we've all been very excited, and it's just so fun to get to see you actually follow your passion and your heart and do this album finally. And I've been hearing the songs in our house, and your dad's been working on them. He's been helping her produce them and record them.
I kept him very busy.
So, okay, so let's talk about that for a little bit. I wanted everybody to kind of hear your input on the record, and Miss Barbara Ann Wild, who's been helping you also.
Yes.
and
A huge help. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you do everything yourself. I think that it's misleading to say that I'm really doing much other than just kind of making a few phone calls for you and helping you along a little bit. But you work your ass off and you do it all yourself, and you write your songs, which Uncle Zach is like, she's writing. That's awesome. It's all that,
Yeah. No, I told my mom when we had our first business call together, I was like, I've never heard that side of Barb, but it was so impressive. I was so impressed. I was like, wow, she really knows her shit.
Yeah. And she gets down to business.
Oh, yeah, down to business. No bullshit.
Yeah. Very direct.
But very nice about it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, tell us about your journey.
Yeah, so the record is called Life's a Glitch. And that's about sums it up, because the album, like my mom was saying, it took years. It was years in the making. And I feel like that was really just all that time was spent, finding the right band and writing. And I had never really written a song before starting Frankie and the Studs. So I think all that time was just really spent finding out who I was as an artist.
Absolutely.
And even like becoming a singer. Like, I don't really like to refer to myself as a singer because I feel like I kind of just shout. And but this record and writing these songs, I wanted to challenge myself and actually like start getting better at writing melodies and writing guitar riffs. And I mean, I had help from great musicians as well, like my collaborator Stuart Carreras and my band as well. I think like every stud that has passed by is in this album. And so it's really like honoring all of the studs and just a compilation of all the songs we've been playing live over the years and a lot of new songs too. So, yeah.
I find it so amazing that one of the things that I've noticed a lot over the last couple of years is how much more developed your voice is, because I think you are a little more comfortable with putting yourself out there. Mm-hmm. But when you sing acoustic, when you and Frankie, when you did your collaboration with Forever 21, and you just sat there with no instruments at all, and you and Frankie just kind of did your thing, and you're singing, I was just. I think it's it's amazing to hear you like really project and
really
go for it and not feel shy or, because you have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you. I rarely do acoustic shows. I think that might have been like the first.
I think you said it was.
Yeah,
I loved it.
And it was funny because when we were preparing for it, we're like, do these songs even work acoustically?
I thought they were great. And I actually wanted to talk to you about putting those versions on the next pressing.
It's so funny that you say that, because the other Frankie, my boyfriend who plays in my band, is also named Frankie.
He's a stud.
He's a stud. He was saying that. He was like, I think the next move is let's do all these songs acoustic and put out an acoustic record. And I was like, you know what?
Zach does that all the time. He calls it his one. It was like the song remains not the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it was. But that tells you all you need to know. I think it would be great if you do that.
Yeah. And we're doing an in-store signing and acoustic show in Santa Cruz at Streetlight Records, which will be fun too. I'm trying to do more of those.
Where is that show so everybody could go?
It's April 13th at Streetlight Records in Santa Cruz. So if you're in Santa Cruz or up north, Bay area,
check them out.
Yeah,
come hang out with us. We're going to have vinyl to sell and we'll be signing them, hanging out. And I'm just going to make a trip of it. Maybe go to Big Sur or something.
Did you do the art yourself? Because the art, it looks so cool.
I didn't. I had, her name's Audrey Herbertson. She's amazing. I have this guitar that's all bedazzled. She hand bedazzled the guitar for me.
Yeah, she's very creative.
Yeah, she's great.
She's got a great eye.
Yeah, she's really great.
One of the things that's so interesting about this record too, I think, is there's a lot of kind of star power in the record as well. And everyone listening to this or watching this right now, I mean, and we get this all the time. You get this all the time. There's this whole nepotism thing, hey, your dad's, Gilby Clarke, and, obviously she's going to get attention. But the thing is, everything that happened on this record, I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Everything that happened on this record happened organically, had nothing to do with your dad, other than your dad helped you record and produce.
Yeah.
But Frankie writes all of her own songs. She books all of her own shows. She books her rehearsals. She advances her shows.
Yeah.
Frankie
designs the merch,
does everything herself. You work so hard at what you do, and it's really amazing. And by the way, never ever have you come to us for money for anything. She finances it all herself. She works and finances it herself. Every dime that she makes, she puts back into her band. And it's hard. It's not easy to go out and play live and rent a van with 4 stinky guys, or 3 stinky guys, and 1 stinky girl.
She actually smells great. She always wears a great perfume.
Courtesy of Miss Joanne. She's always Tom Forded out, by the way. But Motel 6ing it in one bed with 4 people. I mean, you've really earned your stripes. And, it's not like you're flying around in first class and playing all these amazing gigs. You're really like earning your stripes. As your dad always said to you, you got to earn your stripes and do it on your own. Write your own music, book your shows, play a lot, let people hear you.
But if we have a studio in the house, I'm not going to not use it.
Of course. I mean, there are those little accoutrements, of course.
Yeah.
And
you got to come over and use Zach's studio, because he's always been wanting one of our children to do it. He's like, I've got the full gym in the garage, a full recording studio, and I can't get one of them to even open the door and come visit me when I'm recording. So
I will take you up.
Yes, we'll adopt
she'll
you.
be at your door tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. So I'm here for the session.
Yes. Great. Love it.
But yeah, you work your butt off on everything. And some of the things that have come your way in this record, I feel happened because of all your hard work, and it happened to you organically. And it's not because of who your dad is. Tell our listeners the big story of, okay, so I'll preface this. Frankie on the album has a song that she did that Macy Gray produced.
Yeah.
And it was Macy's idea. And you can tell everyone that story. And then she also has a song that she did with Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day, which was also his idea. So it wasn't anybody calling in any favors. So go ahead. Tell us how all that happened.
So with Macy, she reached out to me and she said she liked what I've been doing and she had an idea for a song that we should do. And she wanted to do a cover of Some Kind of Love by the Velvet Underground. And I'd heard the song and I was like, yeah, cool. I mean, I didn't know really what she had in mind, but I was like, I can see myself singing this. And she called me up. I think it was like very quick too. She was like, do you want to get in the studio like tomorrow or tonight? I don't even remember.
I think it was tonight.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. She's like, want to come record? I'm in the studio. And I was like, yeah, sure. And the way she arranged it, I thought was so interesting, the song. And she had her band come in and play on it also, her bass player, her drummer, her producer. And she built a chorus out of the song because, you know, it's a Velvet Underground song. It's like kind of like poetry to music. And I like that because, you know, I'm the way that I sing, like it worked well, I thought. And yeah, it just came out super. It wasn't at all what I was expecting.
And Frankie, your boyfriend, also
he played guitar
on it. And sang on it with you.
It's not something I would have ever thought to do, and the arrangement and the sound, but she did an amazing job.
It's amazing.
It does make
so
sense.
Good.
Yeah.
And you know what a lot of people don't realize about Macy is that she started out in a punk rock band.
Yeah.
People didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of how she got discovered is she was playing in a punk rock band and they were playing at the Whiskey or something.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's the Roxy.
Yeah. And that's how she got discovered.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear her vocals on there too.
Awesome.
She sang on the gang vocals and a little oohs and ahs here and there.
Yeah, she's so fantastic.
I'm like, we can't not have your voice on it. She's just amazing.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, that voice is so, gosh, it's just so distinctly hers.
Yeah. And the reason we know Macy is because I went to school with her daughter, Anissa.
Right.
And Anissa and I were really good friends. So we've stayed in touch over the years.
Yeah, they all grew up together. And then Macy and I became really good friends and we've had her on the show. And that day she called me up and she's like, what are you doing right now? And I go, nothing. Why? And she goes, I want Frankie to come into the studio and record the song. I have an idea for the song and I think Frankie's vocals would be right for it. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, can you pick Frankie up and bring her over? I'm all, you know, Frankie's an adult. She's an adult. You can call her and she'll drive over there herself. So, yeah.
Yeah, she's great. I think she's hilarious also.
She's
so funny.
Hilarious.
Nobody realizes how hilarious
so funny.
she is. She is one of the funniest people I know. She cracks me up so much.
But she's
even
so
just with like a text.
Yeah.
It's just who she is.
Yeah. She's amazing. What a talent.
Yeah.
She's an absolute talent and just so fun as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now the Billie story. So Some Kind of Love is on the record.
It's on the record. Yeah. It was a bonus track on the CD version. And then now that we've released it digitally, it's on the digital album also. We did things kind of funky. We did a vinyl release first just because we wanted to, you know, keep it kind of old school. And like, if you want to hear the record, you have to hear it on vinyl first.
I love that.
And then we just did our digital album release last week. So now it's everywhere. You can stream it everywhere. And you can also still buy the vinyl and CD. But yeah, Billie Joe, that I can't even, like, I haven't really wrapped my head around it, to be honest, because I'll preface it with, I was the biggest Green Day fan when I was a kid. Like,
okay, so
my mom can vouch for me.
Frankie used to be in a band. Her very first band, when she was 10 years old, with her girlfriends from school, was called Sweet Gone Sour.
And that's a great name.
Did you ever trademark that? So they were called Sweet Gone Sour. And I would hire them to play my in-stores. And I did a bunch of in-stores where I would do like a meet and greet with our customers when I was making Frankie B jeans. And so Nordstrom would say, would you come in and do a meet and greet with our customers and sign some of your jeans? And, you know, we'll do like an event. And I was like, okay, should we have like my daughter's band play? And they're like, great idea. So Sweet Gone Sour would play at Nordstrom. People walking by and Sweet Gone Sour would play.
So cute.
But the cutest thing about it was that they covered a Green Day song, American Idiot.
Yeah.
And I said to Frankie, imagine telling your 10-year-old self that one day you would do a song with Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day while she was singing American Idiot in Nordstrom.
How did you get to know him?
So we met because we went on tour together. And I actually had no idea how the connection happened at first because I got a call from their management who happens to be my dad's friend they were in a band together called Candy.
Okay.
And so I thought it came from him. I thought that he hooked it up and he introduced us to Billie. And it wasn't until the first night of our tour, we were playing at the Wayfarer in Costa Mesa, and Billie came up to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm Billie. Nice to meet you."
And you're like, "I know who you are."
I know who you are. And he was like, "Yeah, I've been following you guys for a while. I really like your stuff. And yeah, I wanted you guys to do this tour with you guys because I like your music."
And this was his solo stuff, right?
He did a band called The Long Shot.
The Long Shot.
Yeah, so it was like a side project band. And yeah, so I was like, "So how did you find us?" And he was like, "Well, I found you guys on Instagram. It came up on my feed, a video of you guys doing like a Ramones song, and I liked it, and I started following you guys." And I was just like, "What?" Because I'm so bad at Instagram too.
I thought it was the picture that
you're right. It was the
Joan Jett. You posted a picture of him and Joan Jett together.
I posted that's what it was.
I remember that.
I posted a picture of Joan Jett and Billie Joe and tagged them, and I said, "My parents."
So great.
Yeah.
It's
and then
so
he saw
great.
the Ramones cover after that.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
yeah.
But
Super cute.
That's what I found. But I thought it was funny because I'm like so bad at Instagram and like also kind of against it. I'm like, I think you just play shows and that's how people find out about you. But it is a great help at the same time.
And it's so funny too because he really had no idea, because when your dad and I showed up to the show in Tijuana, I think it was, when your dad and I rode the motorcycle to Tijuana to go see you play for the first time with Billie. No, it was at the Redwood. It was at the Redwood downtown. And when we showed up, your dad, you know, as he always does, tries to help you set up your stage.
He's the best.
He's the roadie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's the cheapest and best roadie ever because he's free. And he was standing on the stage, and Billie was there talking to you. And Billie turns around and he looks at your dad and he goes, "Gilby?" And your dad goes, "Yeah." He goes, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, "Well, I'm Frankie's dad." And he's like, "Wait, what are you talking about? Frankie?" I said, "Frankie and the Studs?" And your dad was like, "Yeah, that's my daughter." And he was like, "No way." So he didn't even know. He had no idea of the
connection. He thought he was my dad. So
yeah.
That's right. You outed him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we did that tour together, and it was, I'm sure I talked about it on the last podcast, but if you haven't heard about it, it was the time of my life, no pun intended. But I had so much fun, and getting to know him and playing with them every night. It was just like such a treat, just as a fan of Billie Joe, because they only played in small clubs. I think the biggest club we played was the Observatory, which is like 1,000 capacity, something like that. So it was so special if you're a fan to see them in that intimate setting. Because normally you go to a Green Day show, it's in an arena,
70,000 to 100,000 people.
Yeah. So it was such a treat to not only be a part of it, but just to be as a fan to see that every night. It was amazing. And we just kept in touch over the years, and we exchanged numbers, and we're just like, yeah, stay in touch, you know. And we, you know, every once in a while we'd text here and there, or like I sang at his birthday party with him.
Right.
And just out of the blue one day, he texted me and he said, "You should cover Venus by Shocking Blue." And I was like, "Oh, I haven't heard the original version, actually. I've only heard the Bananarama, and I knew it from the Razor commercials."
Right. Yeah, no, honestly, that's where that Zach even said to me, he goes, "That's an actual song."
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know it either.
I know. Because you hear it all the time. You think it's like a jingle or something.
Yeah.
But I have heard the Bananarama version, but I went back and I listened to the Shocking Blue one, and I was like, oh, this totally makes sense. The way that she sings, I was like, yeah, I feel like I could hear my voice on that too. And so I was like, yeah, we'll try it. And we got in a room with the band and we just jammed it in a rehearsal. And we're like, that sounds really cool. And Frankie, he played guitar and he like gave it this surf punk vibe that I thought was awesome. And I was like, oh, I love this. And so we started playing it live. And then we were like, we should record this and put it on the album, because we were working on the album at the same time. And so we recorded it. I texted it to Billie and I said, hey, look, we recorded the song that you suggested. Do you want to sing on it?
So you put that out there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's his idea to do the cover, but then I was like, do you want to sing on it? And he was like, sure. And he did. And he did it. I mean, he's been on like tour this whole time for promoting their album Saviors, but he did it while they were in Japan on tour.
Unbelievable.
Recorded his vocals, and huge shout out to Chris Dugan, who mixed the song and got Billie's vocals on there, because he's incredible also.
Sounds so good.
And we got this done so quickly, also in time to make the digital album release. So huge shout out to Chris Dugan making it happen. But yeah, it's just surreal. I haven't processed it, just because I'm still such a fan. Like, even when I'm talking to him, I have like a moment, I'm like, yeah, I'm just talking to my friend. And then I'm like, have an out of body experience. Like, oh my God, it's Billie Joe.
Yeah, that's cool.
I had your poster on my wall.
It's so true. It's so funny. I mean, she totally fans out on him, but she has to play it cool. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so the record is out now, and it's fully out. Anybody can stream it.
Yeah, Spotify.
Yeah,
Apple Music.
Yep.
YouTube.
Plan
whatever.
is to hit the road.
Yeah, the plan is to hit the road this summer. So
yeah. So hopefully get some good shows out there. And Frankie has the first single off the record is a song called Monster, which I love. I love Monster. I mean, there's so many songs that I love on this record. There are so many. I mean, I know I'm biased, but I love Monster. I love what you guys did with Venus. I love Not This Time.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's a ballad.
It's a great song. I love Bimini.
Mm-hmm.
A song that she wrote about a drag queen. Bimini Bon Boulash.
Bimini Bon Boulash.
Frankie loves RuPaul's Drag Race.
So
it's so great.
Yeah.
So she wrote a song. And what is your favorite song? Do you have one?
My favorite song's Monster.
Monster?
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
Is it your favorite? Which is your favorite to play live?
Fuck This Shit.
I love that. I love that video.
Yeah.
But, you should also talk about, the Monster video is so phenomenal, and that you guys worked together on it. And
we collaborated on it. That was so much fun.
I actually showed it to Zach numerous times. I'm like, see, you don't need to spend $1 gazillion on a video.
We spent
$0.
Look what Frankie and Daniela did in Frankie's apartment.
Yeah.
I paid an editor, actually.
We paid
an editor. Yeah, we paid an editor. But
he's awesome. His name's Dylan Clarke.
He's incredible. He did an incredible job with it.
It looks like $1 million video.
Yeah.
You guys outdid yourself.
It was so much fun. And I got to say, that's part of one of the most fun things for me as her mother is collaborating with her on some of these projects that she calls me on. Like for her press photos for this album, she called me up and she's like, hey, do you mind styling me in the band for our press photos?
And we wanted to incorporate all the colors from the album cover. Because, everything we've done before is black. Everything's we are all black.
Mm-hmm.
Or like there's pops of red here and there. So we're like, let's do something.
You right now.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Let's do something totally different. And she totally killed it.
Oh, it's so good.
It was things that we would have never picked out for ourselves.
So good.
But I loved the way that it came out. Everyone wanted their outfits afterwards.
Yeah, it has a little
really
bit
funny.
of that rockabilly.
Yeah, I wanted to do something a little more. It also has a very 80s undertone.
Yeah. Which I think it goes along with the sound of the record, too. It has all of those
totally.
Too. It's not totally like black and white. It's pretty colorful.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that was so much fun. We did that shoot with the amazing master of photography, Brian Bowen Smith, who is a great friend of ours, rides motorcycles with Gilby. He's such a cool guy. So it's kind of all in the family. It's really fun. And
Wasteland provided all the clothes.
All the clothes.
Awesome.
And so then when she called me up to do Monster, I was just like, I love that she trusts me with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big part of it for me, is that, Frankie instills a lot of trust in the people around her. And
who could she? There'd be no one you could trust more, right?
Right. And so it was just so cool. It doesn't get lost on me that it's such a privilege to be able to work with my daughter and to collaborate with her, and that she trusts me so much. And the fun of it is ridiculous because her and I, Monster is such a like dark song, and the video is dark. But the whole time, her and I were screaming with laughter at what we were doing because we were killing ourselves laughing because we were
in my apartment, which is like the size of this,
the size of the stage. We're in her bathroom, which is the size of that corner over there, and we're in her bathroom, and I'm like, okay, get in the tub. We're going to fill it up with water. We're going to put food coloring in it. We're going to make it red.
We're like, does it dye the bathtub? Is the bathtub going to be stained red? We're like,
oh no, are we going to ruin the bathtub? And then I had this really beautiful little French negligee on her, and I was like, is that
going to get dyed red?
Is that going to stay red?
Did it?
No, because what we found out is that the food coloring is water soluble.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, it washes right out.
Awesome.
So nothing got stained. Nobody got hurt in the filming of Monster. But we were dying because we were just like using every nook and cranny of her apartment. And then we went and shot under this bridge where I knew there were no cars going to be there so that we can get some footage and be undisturbed. And we just did it, her and I, and a camera. That's it.
Right.
Did I just signal like an old-fashioned?
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's like. Did you?
I was gonna say, did you use a phone? Yes. Did you use a phone, or did you use an actual VHS tape camera?
Old habits don't die. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Wow. We use a cam. No. We used a camera.
Camcorders were used.
No camcorders. Although we did try. We actually did try. We have a bunch of old cameras, and sometimes we want to use that lo-fi look, so we do use old
an
VHS
app for
cameras.
that.
Yeah, there's an app for that too.
But sometimes we try to be purists and use,
Yeah.
But we didn't. We actually we filmed it on a digital camera. But yeah, and it was just Frankie and I alone in the apartment with the camera, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we did, we styled it and directed it and filmed it all ourselves.
Did you have the treatment idea in your head, though?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So that's basically, what about songwriting? Where do you get your inspiration? Is it like personal or things that you see out in the world, or where do you get your
anything really
lyrical inspiration?
A lot of time it's personal. Like sometimes I write songs about other people too, like, and I'll write it from their perspective.
Right.
And then sometimes it's like a word. I'll hear a word and I'll write it down, or like, for instance, the album title, I just one day thought about Life's a Glitch. It just like came to me. I was like thinking about my friend Savannah and I have this ongoing joke that we live parallel lives, and it's the glitch in the Matrix that every time something
really
weird happens to both of us, it happens to us at the same time.
Your mom and I kind of have that.
Yeah. And so we text each other all the time, just like in all caps, like the glitch. And so I was just thinking about that, and I was like, life's a glitch. I was like, oh, that's funny because it's kind of a play on like life's a bitch. And it just encapsulates everything that the band and I have been through over the years trying to get this album done. And, it can be a word, it can be anything really, and I'll just like write it down, and sometimes I'll just write like poetry or just like write lyrics, and then I'll it's like Frankie, my boyfriend, he'll have a song idea and have a melody already written. He's like, do you have lyrics for this? And I'm like, hold on 1 second, let me look through my archives.
Awesome.
And I'll like work it into that, or I'll just write all new lyrics. But lyrics is like my favorite thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I get a lot of my ideas when I'm sleeping. I will wake up and I'll be like, oh, where's my phone? I got to write all of this down.
They always say keep a pen and paper by the bed.
Yeah.
And I imagine things in my sleep, and I create lines. I have ideas of lines, and not lines for movies.
You know that is a sign of genius. Really, for real. No, it really is.
I always said I was
when you like when you can visualize things in your sleep, that is part of your
created.
Yeah.
That does not exist. Like I create people that don't exist in my dreams.
I've done that too.
And or it's your subconscious and you're piecing faces together of what you saw during the day, I guess. But when I say lines, I mean clothing lines, not lines for songs by any means. But yeah, I wake up sometimes and I jot down my ideas. Does that happen to you?
Yeah, I've had dreams where like I'm listening to the radio and there's a song that I've never heard before playing on the radio, and I'll wake up and I'll like try and record it on my phone, but then it's just like mumbling.
It's okay. Yeah.
But I have written some songs, like Dance With You was written completely out of a dream. I was like taking a nap and I was like half asleep, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I have this melody idea and these lyrics, and I wrote that one from a dream.
That's awesome.
But also I was writing a lot during COVID, and I had a writing partner, Stuart Carreras, and we would just dedicate like 2 or 3 days a week, every week, and write. And even if it was like songs that never see the light of day or we'll use later down the line, we were just like, let's just get together and write. And it was great to have somebody to bounce ideas off of. And especially during that time when there was so much uncertainty. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to play these songs live.
Right.
So a lot of those songs actually are on this album.
Really?
Yeah. And it's funny because the way that they started and how they ended are like totally different.
That's so cool.
Because
the whole journey.
Because we didn't know if we were going to play them live. So we were experimenting a lot with the different sounds, like kind of electronic beats and like making it sound totally not like anything we'd done before. And then when it came down to when we were ready to put out the record and start working on that, I was like, let's play these songs how we would approach them as a live band and see how they feel. And so we got in a room and we played them, because we kind of did that with Drain Me. We're like, Drain Me is a single we released, I think it was last year or the year before that.
Love that song.
Thank you. It was a little more digital and like gothy post-punk. And then when we play it live, it has a whole different sound. So that's kind of how we approached this, was we were like, let's just play all these songs live and see how they come out. And then that's what we're going to record. And that's what we did.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it just had a lot more of a rawer sound.
Yeah.
And it wasn't overproduced or,
Yeah. We don't really use auto-tune, or my dad, he's a total purist. Like he doesn't EQ guitars. He doesn't no auto-tune. If you didn't sing it right the first time, you got to sing it again.
Oh yeah. Which is great because, it's so, I was just talking, I forget who I was talking to about this, but I think it was the guy at the end, Zach's engineer at his studio, and it really is, for someone who loves music and has been around it and lives with someone who creates music all the time, it's so disappointing to me that artists that don't need auto-tuning are finding themselves using it, like Jason Levine from what do you call it?
Do you mean Adam Levine?
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine.
Yeah, Maroon 5.
Yeah.
He's got such a gorgeous voice, and now everything is auto-tuned, and it's I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need it, that's one thing, whatever. But I was also hearing this interesting story the other day of like Carrie Underwood has such a gorgeous voice, right? It's not, she's not one of my favorite artists or anything, but no denying she can sing. And she did a song with one of the women from Heart with Nancy. And when she sang in the studio, she was singing as if she was auto-tuned because she was hearing herself sing that way. And I was like, look, she doesn't even have auto-tune, but that's the way she's approaching the song. That's how she phrases things now, and how she sings. And it's like, I don't know, I think it just takes away the human, quality to it. I think there's nothing more amazing than just hearing someone like raw and their emotions and their inflections and their voice. And I think it's great.
Yeah, I think that's why I've always gravitated towards older music too.
Yeah.
Like I listen to way more older music than I do new music because I like all the imperfections. Like you can sometimes hear out-of-tune guitars and things like that. And
totally.
I like that. Even like Creep by Radiohead, that like was a mistake and they kept it in there. And that's like the best part of the song.
Totally.
So dramatic.
It's so dramatic.
Totally. So good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What I know what your influences are, but maybe talk about that because our listeners might be wondering.
Yeah. So my influences are like CBGB, New York punk scene. I love that. Like New York Dolls.
You love it so much.
I have a tribute band.
What are they called? Where are you playing?
We're called the Gormandizers, which Frankie came up with that name. It is the G in umfug, so country bluegrass and other music for uplifting. Gormandizers.
So great.
And we play all those songs. I'm always like stuck between, is it a cover band or a tribute band? Because I like to think of it as a tribute contribute to that scene.
Yeah.
Because we play all of the bands that had hits from that scene, and I like to do like costume changes throughout too. So all that music, huge influence, and I love being able to pay tribute and play those songs with the Gormandizers. And I feel like it's actually helped our songwriting too, because now we have like all these references to pull from. Because I mean, I've listened to those songs forever, but I've never had to learn all of them and learn all the lyrics and learn all the parts and the structures. And it's interesting because some of them sound like really simple songs, but the structures are like wacky. So it's given us a lot of ideas for our own record, which is cool. And then as far as like newer artists, I love Paramore. I've always been a big Paramore, Hayley Williams fan. Green Day, obviously.
Yeah.
I love My Chemical Romance. I feel like they all do a great job of interpreting the, like, My Chemical Romance. A lot of people, they associate them just with being an emo band. Yeah. But if you really listen to it, you can hear that their influences are like Queen and T-Rex and totally influenced by glam rock. And I like that. I like how they've interpreted that. And I like to... and another band that we've played with that I'm like really into right now is called Strawberry Fuzz. They're awesome. They're a super fun live band, just raw punk energy. Yeah. If you have a chance to see them, if you're in LA, or actually they're going on tour with the Buzzcocks, who I love, and I'm kind of jealous.
Wow.
But
that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We're going to have a blast.
Yeah, I would love to go see that.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun show.
Yeah.
Is there, other than like Green Day and Paramore, who is like your dream show to play with, band to play with?
Oh, God. Other than them, they're like the...
Yeah, I know.
They're my top picks for sure. I'd love to... I love playing with like Glenn Matlock. That was
you love that.
Yeah, like
he's great.
I'd love to play with the Pistols reboot.
Yeah, the Pistols reboot. Come on, you guys. Cool. Frankie and the Studs with the Pistols reboot. Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah, or Joan Jett. I would love to play with Joan Jett, obviously.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's very cool. I think like you guys with like the Hives would be fun
Hives
too.
The Voids also would be fun. Julian Casablancas from The Strokes, his band.
Oh, how did we forget about that?
How can we forget about the Voids? I wear their hat or T-shirt every day.
Yeah, your cat is named Julian.
Yeah, how could I forget?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? So what you're working on new songs? I know that.
Yeah, here at Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
Shout out Jake.
Yeah,
we've been keeping him busy too.
Yeah, because they have a studio here, and after hours, you guys are recording and doing stuff here.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, no, it's
perfect.
Great. It's great. And
have you found yourself like when you have fans DM you or come up to you, are you finding that they're seeing you as some sort of female, like, because you're fronting a band and the studs behind you for the most part are male, sometimes not, but like that empowerment, do you ever feel like some sense of responsibility, or do you think of it that way? Or
I do. Yeah, I do. It's
like total girl power. I love it.
Yeah, because that's what inspired me. Like I was talking about Paramore and Hayley Williams, and that was a time when there weren't a lot of female fronted bands of that genre, and I gravitated towards her because I felt like I could relate to her narrative and her lyrics more than I could, a male fronted band.
Right.
And that always makes me happy when like fans come up to me and they say, oh, like I feel like you wrote this song for me or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, you can connect on that. And that's how I got into music, because I felt like I could connect to it on a personal level. And yeah, I think
I love it. I love that you weren't like steered or envisioned yourself, as, because a lot of times when it's a girl in a band, it's an all girl band.
Yeah.
And I love female guitar players. I love the fact that you're fronting this band, and, there is a whole nother persona that emerges when you get on stage.
Don't recognize her.
I mean, I'll never forget when you played the Viper Room and your mom's like, Frankie's doing a show, you want to come? And I'm like, of course. And Jesse, my son, and I were there, and I think you said 3 words to me before that show, and you come out on stage and you like kick the mic and you're crawling around, and I'm like, what is going on? And Jesse's like, that's Frankie? I'm like, I know, I don't know what. You got to name that other persona.
Yeah, she's called Monster.
There is a monster inside of you, Frankie, absolutely. Fortunately, the way it steers, because you're like the angel child. But
she really is.
wow.
You really, like, people always ask me, like, was there ever a stage when Frankie was little where you guys didn't get along or you had problems with her or anything? I'm all, no. No, absolutely not. She was the modeled kid. I mean,
you're a phenom when it comes to that, because
straight A student.
Yeah.
I mean, went to college. I had never had issues with her smoking, drinking, running around with boys. She was very studious, and it was more me. Like, she would come home from school, put her books down, grab a snack, sit down, and do her schoolwork, and I'd be like, "What are you doing? Let's hang out. Let's go do something." And she'd be like, "Well, no, I have work to do." And I was like, but you've been in school all day. You need to, like, chill out and, like, hang out with me and let's go do something. And she'd be like, "You're a really bad influence."
I really think that that's what happens, though. I think your rebellion and my kid's rebellion, you guys are so straight and well behaved because your parents are insane.
There's like nothing to rebel against.
No, that's how you rebelled. You became real straight edge, and we're like fucking nuts. So, I think that's what happens, because my kids are all like science scholars and math students.
I know, it's wild.
Like,
When she was filling out her college application, Gilby and I were like, this is so interesting, because we never did it.
And Zach is like you, where he's just like, forget school. Just come out on the road with me. Don't you want to see the world? Forget about school. I'm like, Zach, he's like, okay, I won't say anything.
It's so funny. I mean, the first time I ever heard her cuss was when she was like 21 years old. And she said shit. Because up until then, it was always, tartar sauce. I was like, who is this child? Was she switched at birth? I don't understand. Because all we do, Gilby and I, have foul mouths. But
it's hysterical.
But, it's so fun to see her, like, now that she's an adult and who she is, and the whole the band and the music and just the creativity that she exudes, like, even just in her style. For me, I mean, she's constantly my muse. I look at her and I'm always, like, inspired by your whole vibe.
But I just wanted to say a point earlier. You said that you're so honored that I trust you. The trust was earned, because when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I had my own form of rebellion, and it was I would wear
Oh, God.
I would wear sweatpants
All the time.
and hoodies.
All the time.
Only. I was like, I'm not wearing jeans. I'm not wearing what you tell me to wear. I want to be comfortable. That's all I cared about, was being
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I finally realized, when she would tell me, you should wear this, I should listen to her.
Yeah.
Because I look back on those photos, I'm like,
I mean,
know
those
what I was
photos
thinking.
in her new line, you're her model. And I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting on a plane getting ready to go somewhere, and she sends me these photos. I'm like, what the? I was like, now I can't even talk to you. I'm taking off, and I was just dying. And then I show them to Zach, and he, like, thinks of you as, like, his, niece. And he's like, she's such a good girl. She's such a good kid. I'm like, it's okay to say she looks hot. He's like, no. She's just amazing. She's, she's got her own style. She's got her own thing, but it was just so funny, because we're looking at you in a whole different way. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, you definitely get Mother of the Year.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
As I was taping
Frankie,
black
take
tape.
your top off. Your jean needs to go down a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Can we put you in any spandex or vinyl or rubber?
Sometimes
I don't fight it,
though.
though. I'm like, okay.
Barb, do you want to go to the pleasure chest? I need to get Frankie a Christmas present.
Sometimes I think, oh my God, am I like Brooke Shields' mom? Remember, she
I
got
gave
so much
her
slack.
first vibrator. At least I think I did. So
Yeah.
I'm just as guilty.
You're right. This poor child. I don't know how she came out so good, but she did. It's her own. Everyone's like, how did you raise her to be such a good kid? I'm like, I don't think I really had it much to do with it.
Raised you guys.
She was raised by wolves, if you really want to know. But yeah. All right. Well, Frankie, we ask all our guests the same question. Is there a product that you can't live without?
Oh, I mean, I'm really into MAC's kohl eyeliner, the black kohl eyeliner right now. It's just like, if I have nothing else I don't know, if I'm not like feeling getting dressed up, I just throw that on.
Yeah. Her and I.
So beautiful.
We just went to, Mac Cosmetics invited us to an event that they had. And they did these demonstrations of all these amazing makeup artists.
It was super cool.
Oh my God, it was so cool. The makeup artist, Terry
Barber.
Yeah. He is like the makeup artist, the punk rock makeup artist from back in the day. And he recreated a Grace Jones look on this model that
I saw you post.
Yeah, we literally gasped. We were like, when they showed her.
So good. But they came out with this new blush that's kind of like a highlight.
Oh, that blush, yeah.
Called Strobe.
I gotta show you, Barb.
Oh, I can't.
But it's like a plum.
Yeah.
It's a plum. So it kind of gives you like this iridescent alien kind of look.
Oh my God. It's amazing. It's called Strobe, right?
Yeah.
Amazing product. Okay. Well, if anybody wants to find out more about Frankie, you can go on Instagram. She posts a lot on there. Frankie and the Studs is her Instagram. Her personal Instagram is Frankie Berry.
Yeah. Berry.
Yes. And you can go and listen to her music anywhere that you listen to music. Go check it out. Go into your local record store. Maybe pick up her vinyl.
Come to Licorice Pizza.
Come to Licorice Pizza. Yeah.
Support the arts.
Online, you can get it at Deadbeat Records. We have a limited edition splatter on there that's the same colors.
I love that.
That's super cool. Yeah. And then we also have CDs. Or come to a show.
Come to a show because really
live music.
Yeah.
Yes. And really you get the true flavor of a band when you see them play live, especially Frankie and the Studs, because their live performance is not like any other that you've seen. It is a lot of fun to see Frankie play live. She really is very demonstrative. Or demonic. But all right. Well, there you have it. Thank you, Frankie. Thanks for dropping by. On your very busy day here. All right. So make sure you check us out on all our platforms, Honest AF Show, Instagram, and Facebook, and X, and YouTube.
We are going to start using Snapchat as well.
Oh, well, that's news. Okay.
My Jessie said we need to, so we're going to start posting on Snapchat.
Your Jessie says it is the gospel.
Yeah, it's gospel.
So we will do that. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, you all take care.
Bye. Everybody.
We obviously need to do a disclaimer here. So we want you to know we are not doctors or experts by any stretch of the imagination. We are just a couple of gals that are looking for magical products, procedures, and experiences. And in our quest, we will share our honest as fuck opinions with you. So please make sure before you try anything we talk about that you know your own restrictions and do so at your own risk. Do not blame us for any of your issues. We're just experimenting too.